Good morning, this is Bob Tune with Pennystocking 100 to 1000. Welcome back to the series where we take a fresh account on Webull starting with just $100 and show you the journey it takes to grow that $100 into $1,000 over time. And we're back. Today is July 24th, 2019. Markets are green. And when we left the series off, we were in an overnight hold on, over weekend hold on MTP. And that was a pretty poor loss right there. We lost $51.68 on that one. That was pretty bad, but you know, it happens. We decided to go ahead and hold that over the weekend so we didn't have to waste use a day trade on it because we were already really far down in the hole. So we got in at $3 a share that Friday and we sold it pretty much as soon as the pre-market opened on that Monday at 4:11. We sold it at $1.77 a share. So we tried to let it give it a little time to see if it could maybe bounce back a little bit, but usually when these plays are done, they're just done most of the time. Very seldom do you see 2-day continuation. It doesn't happen that often. So we didn't get one. So the charting you can see here. So like I said, I called the top of it here that Friday, which was unfortunate. I should not have chased it at all after that had already ran from $1 to $3. So yeah, we chased that at the top. We got it at the top. So we held that through the weekend. Like I said, we got out here on that Monday in the pre-market because we just did not see any volume and it was done. So I think this candlestick here is probably my shares or something right here. So at 177. So that was it. And as you can see in the rest of the day, it actually, it actually died out, went to 150. So, that was that. That was unfortunate, but that was that. So that was Monday, and I think the same day I had made a day trade. Made a day trade on, I believe it was TRNX. Right, so TRNX, we got in the TRNX right after that at 7:26 a.m. and we sold it at 7:42. So not very long. We bought in at 62 cents a share. We sold it roughly at 70 cents a share. So we made about 12% on that, which is okay. We could have got in a lot earlier. Let's show you the charting. Could have got in a lot earlier. I was actually watching this because I know it's been in play, back and forth a couple days, every week. So I've been watching it, and I saw the volume come in, and that was nice. I like to see that. But I was trying to save pennies. So you can see here, this was the day here. You can see all this green coming in. Green. Constantly going up. So. And the top was 72 cents a share. So we got out around the top almost, which is fine. So yeah, I was looking at this around 40 cents a share. And I saw the volume coming in. Like, see, this candle, this block here was 200,000. So when something like that has that much volume, it's probably going to catch on. And which it did, as you can see with the candlesticks showing you. Caught on pretty well. But realistically, and I kept trying to save pennies, and I put in maybe 49 cents. It might jump straight to 50 cents. I put in 50 cents, it jumps to 50. So people kept basically one-upping me on the bid. So that was unfortunate. So we kept doing that all the way till we finally got to this candlestick, and we just finally gave in and said, you know what, it's gonna keep going up without me. Let's just get in at whatever price, whatever. So we got in at 62 cents. And since we got in so late, the low was 28 cents. So since we got in so late, we decided, we don't want to hold this forever because we already got in late. Be prepared to set your exit, pretty close to your entry if you got in so late. If you chased it, that's the important lesson to learn from that one. Like I said, the top was 72 cents a share. I don't know where the exact tops are going to be at. All I can do is predict what I think is going to happen when people are going to be selling. What are good times people are going to be selling? If you think it's going to be a good time to sell, sometimes more than likely other people are going to think it's a good time to sell. As you can see, profit taking place here, and it dies out back to the 50s. So that was that play on that Monday, and I'm trying to speed this along because this is like a recap for the week. Because we don't have any more day trades. We had a pretty decent week here. This is the end of our week because we have no more day trades. So the next play we got in on was unnecessary. But we got it in on Tuesday. We tried to make an overnight play on OBLN because there was catalyst. But this was a break even. So there was a catalyst. I can't remember what it was. We got in at dollar share at 231 on that Tuesday, and we held it overnight and sold it in the pre-market at 703 at a dollar share. So break even, which is fine with me. Not a big deal. The reason I got in, yes, there was a catalyst. I like the chart though. The chart was pretty good. Yeah, the chart was pretty sick here. Look, so you can see it came from like the 60 cents area, ran up here, consolidated, run up here towards the close. That was strength. I like that. Now, unfortunately, the count was pretty low. I had like $84 in the account, and on Webull, you can only if the stock is under $1, you have to buy 100 shares or more. So if I saw this around like the 90-something cents area, I could not buy in until it hit $1 because I didn't have the money to buy 100 shares. So I had to wait till it got to $1. I put in my order for $1, got in $1, ran to 105, and consolidated. I had a day trade, so if I wanted to get out, I could have gotten out if things got ugly and dropped back down here to around the 80s, and that became the new resistance, the 80s. But it held up the 90s pretty well, so I decided against cutting that loss. It held the 90s pretty well, which was good. That's what I like to see. And then it ran back up to $1 in after hours. And then on that pre-market, I went ahead and got out. The high in the pre-market was 105, but I just wanted to go ahead and get out because it wasn't much volume. And also, the catalyst was there was an earnings report coming up, a conference call for the earnings report. And apparently, in the conference call or something, you can see the stock dropped 40% today, back to the 50s. So apparently, they're doing a reverse stock split. Not only that, but they missed pretty bad on revenue. So I'm glad I went ahead and took my break even when I did, because that was all there was to it. When I don't see any buying pressure on an overnight, the next day I just go ahead and cut my losses. Plus, in such an iffy play like that, when there's going to be earnings coming out in a couple hours, you want to be sure, you want to be safe. So that's exactly what I did. So that was that. And then on Wednesday as well, we got in on... We had 2 day trades Wednesday. One of them was pretty poor. We lost about 4% on one of them, which was EKSO. It just didn't catch on. The news catalyst didn't catch on like I wanted it to, so there wasn't any volume or anything like that. So we got in at 807 in the pre-market at 128 a share. We sold it after the open at 951 at 123. So we lost a little bit, not much, about 4%. Not a big deal. But there was a news catalyst here. Let me see if I can show you. EKSO Bionics expands its medical portfolio with upper body exoskeleton for rehabilitation. Now, I don't really know exactly what that means, but it was pretty much the best catalyst at the time that I could find in the early pre-market. So, and not only that, I saw Webull doesn't actually show you this on the chart because their pricing is not really accurate. But on TD Ameritrade, there was like a 50K volume block when I was getting in. So that told me right there that this might catch on, right? The news story might catch on. But really, honestly, looking at the level 2 on TD Ameritrade, I think that was just one buyer that really bought a ton of shares. The timestamp was all the same, so I think that was just one big buyer. So after he bought his shares, that was pretty much it. It just did not catch on. The volume was dead after that. So it kind of dropped down from there. But it traded between the region of 120 and 130, so I didn't really see much reason to, cut my losses super quick. So I waited to the market open to see if it can catch on some volume. Not really. It didn't really catch on any volume, so I went ahead and sold it, at 123, took my loss and just moved on. Not a big deal. Yes, it's at 127 right now in after hours, but it doesn't matter. It's not doing anything. It's not moving. I don't like that. It's not moving at all, so, move on. Now, the trade I really want to talk to you about is the trade. I made 22% on this one. This was pretty nice for me here on DMPI. So we made $17.61 on DMPI. Now, DMPI is a stock that I've seen run a few times in the past, so I knew it was a past runner. It has a small float of about 2 or 3 million, so I knew it had potential, and it was a catalyst for it, I believe. So I knew it had potential when I saw this. So right after I got out of that small loss, 4% loss, I checked on Webull to see the percent gainers. This was on there. It was up about 50% at the time. So I like to see that. I really like to see that. That was nice. So we got in at 184 this year, at 953, and then we sold it just 4 minutes later at 957 at 225 a share. So that was okay. We made about 22% on that one. Now, so yeah, okay. So the charting right here. Look at this huge green candle, like 2.5 million. 2 million on that tick. So it really ran up pretty hard. Like I said, I liked it because it's a former runner. I've seen, Catalyst. There was nothing else really huge on the day at all. So I knew this had potential to go. I just jumped straight in. I didn't try to save pennies or anything. I just jumped in when I saw it immediately. So 184 share, it runs up. What I was expecting was, I was expecting it to break the twos. I didn't expect it to break the twos like super convincingly or anything like that. I just wanted it to break the twos, a little bit. So we got out. We set our sell order at 225. We didn't really care if it went up much further than that. It went to 266 later on, but that was the top, and it barely hit that. Like I said, so I got out this candlestick here, got in and out on the same candlestick. So even then, like, I didn't even like this second candlestick here when it does this action here, when the wicks extend up and down, about halfway. I think that's called a dragonfly doji or something. I'm not really too versed in those terms, but I don't like those. I don't like that. So I'm glad I got out when I did, because those types of things to me are a toss up. It can either go down or up from that point. I don't like that. So I'm glad I got out when I did. I made my 22% and moved on. So that was our last day trade for the week. So we kind of redeemed ourselves a little bit there. So we're up about 25% on the week overall. That's the month, unfortunately, but this is the week. So we're up this week about 25%. So I'm happy with that. And let's see if we can come into next week and do the same thing, hopefully. So that was the week recap for week 13. And I guess we will see you guys next week. And until then, we just encourage you all to stay motivated, stay inspired, study hard, and eventually penny stocks will reward you. Thank you.